Harisharanam. In the first episode of A Spiritual Practice Made Simple, I tried to give you some background information about spirituality and tried to build a broad perspective that will be helpful to us in our journey towards the higher goal. As we said in the first episode, we are seeking or we are going to walk the path of higher spirituality, not the middle level or the lower level spirituality, which means we are working for self-realization, God realization, and nirvana, which is called moksha or mukti also. Now, when we proceed on a journey, we don't need only background information as to where we are going, but also we have to pack our baggage with stuff that would be needed during the course of the journey. For instance, some food stuff, clothing, bedding. So, before we proceed on the journey, let's know what we must carry with ourselves during the course of the journey. The first thing that we must procure before starting our journey is the Bhagavad Gita. This is a book, a spiritual classic, which is admired and accepted by almost all the sects or denominations of Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma. And let me tell you, this is one book which is admired across faiths. Famous scientists, educationists, poets, and other scholars read it, admire it, respect it across all faiths. Therefore, this is the most authentic book that can act as a guide to us all along our journey, because it not only discusses the theoretical aspects of spirituality but also gives practical tips. So, we shall follow this book mainly, but God has touched briefly in this book on several subjects, and some elaboration on those subjects is required. So, among thousands of books available in the Sanatana Dharma or Hindu faith, we will bank on two more other than the Bhagavad Gita. One is called Sri Ramcharitmanas. This is the life history of Lord Rama, who was considered an embodiment of dharma and spirituality. He is supposed to be the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, who is the personification of God the Supreme, who is formless. This book is available at a very low price from the Gita Press, and is available easily everywhere in the country, in India at least, probably elsewhere also. The third book which we must also have is Bhagavad Purana in 2 volumes, published by again the Gita Press at a very low price, affordable. This carries the life history of Lord Krishna, another incarnation of Lord Vishnu, the Supreme God. However, we must remember one thing. Our base book will be Bhagavad Gita, which has nothing in it which can be pointed out as objectionable or vicious. But there are certain areas in both the books that I mentioned, apart from the Bhagavad Gita, which may contain certain observations by some characters which are against essentially two classes. One is women and the other is the Shudras, or the manual labor class of India of the ancient times. These observations must be ignored for two reasons. One is that when this book Ramcharitmanas was composed by the saint poet Tulsidas, it was in one form. Now we don't have, or the publishers don't have, the original manuscript. They have assembled on the basis of other sources, secondary sources. Therefore, we can't say or we can't blame Tulsidas for every observation in this book. Another point is that it has many characters. Not all are noble characters. So, many characters make observations like in a drama which may not be likable. Therefore, we must ignore those portions and make use of the spiritual wealth that this great book presents. As regards the Bhagavad Gita, for a beginner, it would have been ideal to have a book like this which is in Hindi, which gives the original Sanskrit text and thereafter the word separation. Sanskrit is a language which is slightly complicated. It combines 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words into one word. This was done for the purposes of memorization. Instead of several words, you remember one word, long word. So they had their own principles of combination. So a normal person can't make out, a beginner can't make out what the composite word means. Therefore, the book should give a word separation, small words which were combined into one. It makes it easier to understand. Then each word's meaning following a sequence that conforms to the Hindi syntax. Ideally, you should begin with the book in English in the same format. But unfortunately, that book I have not seen till date. We from the Gita Global Publication are trying to bring out a book like this. Maybe in a few months you can get that book. Another caution is that you will find numerous, hundreds, thousands of commentaries and translations of the Bhagavad Gita in English. But there is a problem which you must be aware of. Bhagavad Gita is regarded as the word of God, which you will also confirm when you read it because of the quality of the text. Therefore, every denomination of Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, every sect of Sanatana Dharma seeks the support of the Bhagavad Gita to enhance its own credibility. The Gita lays down 10 paths to God realization or salvation, nirvana, moksha. Some of them are well known to you probably. The path of loving devotion, Bhakti Marg, Bhakti Yoga, the path of spiritual knowledge, Jnana Yoga, the path of meditation, Dhyana Yoga, the path of detached action, that is Karma Yoga, and 6 others. The problem is that each sect's translator and commentator tries to make out as if the Bhagavad Gita supports their path. And this is not true, by the way. The Bhagavad Gita acknowledges the importance of all the different paths, and probably everybody should seek or find the most appropriate path for themselves. But when you read a particular sect's commentary, you will find that they will try to persuade you that you follow their path. Be cautious and don't follow the path recommended by a particular sect before going into details of other interpretations. So don't be in a haste, wait, think, study, and then decide which is the best path for you. As regards the path we are going to recommend to you for spiritual practice in the next episode will be a mix of many paths depending on the compatibility of their different aspects. Why so? I'll explain in the next episode. Till then, Hari Sharanam. Hari Sharanam.